killed 6 individuals, including his wife, before taking away his own life. Digital money lenders are said to be regulated by the Central Bank of Kenya after President Uhuru Kenyatta signs to law the CBK Amendment Bill number 10. At least 38 people dead with 69 others nursing serious injuries after an overcrowded prison in Gitega, Burundi, was ripped by fire earlier today.
Well, talk to us via social media platforms at Switch TV Kenya, Joel Chacha M on Twitter, as well on Facebook, Switch TV Kenya, and Joel Chacha can also send in an SMS via 111 and we begin. The mental health condition of police officers have been attributed to be the major cause of police killings that have been experienced in the country. This comes after a police officer from Kabete police station today killed 6 individuals, including his wife, before taking away his own life. And now, as Robert Oma reports, the officer allegedly having a pending, or rather was having a pending case at the Independent Policing and Oversight Authority, IPOA.
The mood in Mountain View area in Kangemi, Nairobi County is tense. Anger, fear and grief can be felt in the air after the horrific scene that left 7 dead and 2 injured.
Kwani kuna ndikurusa, nimekutana maiti ngapi? 4. Nikikunywa mafuta tosha, nikapatana mwili ya kwanza Viongo Road.
Tuko na shida katika kikosi cha polisi kwa sababu hii si mara ya kwanza tumesikia polisi wakiua watu.
At around 2 a.m., chaos erupted when Police Constable Bernard Mbatu, based in Kabete Police Station, opened fire at his wife, 2 border riders and few others bystanders.
Hiyo gari, hiyo askari imekonfirmiwa akaua pipi yake na anataka kuua watu wengine na anaua watu wako innocent. Sasa ndio tukakuwa alert.
Witnesses later spotted a man driving a Probox who was shooting passers-by on his way using a rifle which Switch TV has established was his official designated AK-47 before turning the gun on himself.
Muua huyo akateremka hivyo chini, tukasikia watatu wengine wamekufa hapo Shell. Hapo tosha tukasikia wengine wamekufa, Viongo wengine watatu huko chini Virgin. Kuna pia marafiki zetu sasa hivi wachache ndo wameponea wako kwenye ICU.
This woman in blue is among those who have been widowed by the incident. She could not speak on the cameras. She is grieving. Speaking off camera, Bernard's colleagues have hinted that the officer had a pending case that was catching up with him at the Independent Policing and Oversight Authority, IPOA, where he was being accused of involvement in a murder. We sought to verify the information from IPOA. However, we have not yet found a response from the authorities.
Afya ya police, especially mambo ya mental health, inatakana yaangaliwe kabisa. Kwa sababu kama mtu ameshikwa na kijana na pengine anaendelea kuwa katika kikosi cha polisi na ako na silaha, atasababisha maafa kama haya.
Bodies of the dead were rushed to Kenyatta Hospital morgue, and the survivors are on a critical condition at the same hospital. The police officer who has taken the lives of more than 6 people has been confirmed to be from the Kabete police station, and this is not the first incident to occur in the country. And maybe it is time to look critically into the mental wellness of the police officers. It is from then that things might change. Robert Oma, Switch TV, from the Kabete police station in Nairobi.
In a quick rejoinder by Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i concerning the Kabete killings of 6 people, the CS has condoled with the families of those affected, saying the probe could have linked to a love triangle. The CS says investigations on the matter have been launched and will update the public on the same.
We are investigating the matter, and our internal affairs unit officers are there. DCI Kinodi's team has been there. We want to get to the bottom of that incident. And we will go the direction investigations will point us. All I want to plead with my fellow Kenyans is let us exercise a sense of responsibility. You know, our country is here today, it will be there tomorrow, and it will be there forever. We have built institutions over the years painstakingly. And we have institutions that are strong enough to deal with the challenges that we face. Counties in the country where we have, seen a spike in some of these cases recently, We have been having meetings with faith-based organizations and leaders, especially the clergy, asking them, let us now work together. This is not going to be a matter of the police or a matter of the provincial administration or a matter of, it is going to take all of us to deal with this issue.
Meanwhile, operations to rescue the remaining 4 gold miners trapped inside a gold mine in Bondo sub-county entered day 6 as the 4 of the 8 miners who were trapped are said to be alive and making contact with the rescue team through a water pipe. Chris Ombua reports.
Today being the 6th day of the search operation, 4 of the 8 gold miners are still trapped inside. The 4 are still communicating with the rescuers using water pipes, urging the government to facilitate the process of rescuing them as they are running out of energy and risk suffocation and starvation. Government spokesperson Cyrus Oguna has warned people living around or close to the mines to vacate to places more safe and far from the mines. He has also cautioned them against the mining activities, especially in this rainy season. As the rescue operation continues at the site, the excavators are said to have abandoned the mission. This is to allow the other miners to scoop the soil manually to bring their colleagues back alive. Reporting for Switch, I'm Chris Ombua.
And also a story that we're preparing for you. Transport and Infrastructure Principal Secretary Paul Maringa has announced that the government has set aside 30 million for ENZIU bridge construction and tender advertised with the construction to kick-start in January next year. Mariam Jahid will be preparing and filing that story in just a bit. But we now shift our gears to matters politics. Preparations for Friday's ODM National Delegates Conference is on top gear, with ODM party leader Raila Odinga expected to officially launch his 2022 presidential bid. Meanwhile, Mount Kenya Foundation has officially endorsed the former premier as the preferred presidential candidate for the 2022 general elections. Our reporter Daniel Anunda with more.
Friday's Orange Democratic Movement convention in Nairobi is set to be an icing to the handshake between President Uhuru Kenyatta and ODM leader Raila Odinga. The former Prime Minister revealed Monday that the event, set to be held at the Moi International Sports Centre Kasarani, will be a crowning moment for the peace pact they sealed with President Uhuru Kenyatta in March 2018.
So all of us are ready to hear what Baba will tell us on Friday.
Tumealika gavana zaidi ya 40 na kufikia leo gavana zaidi ya 30 wameconfirm.
I take this opportunity on behalf of youth in this nation to invite all the youth to Kasarani on Friday.
Azimio la umoja Kenya ni kubwa kwa kina mama. Tunataka uwanja, kina mama wajitokeze, tusikize baba. Tusikie baba anasema nini.
All indications signal at Raila launching his bid despite him not officially announcing that he will be vying. The ODM chief is expected to declare his quest for the top seat as well as reveal his manifesto. Earlier this month, Raila said he has been going round the country with his Azimio La Umoja campaign seeking views from Kenyans on whether to vie for the presidency and will make his decision known on Friday.
Ijumaa ijao, next Friday, hapa Kasarani, kiwanja Kasarani, nataka mkuje huko. Mtakuja? Mtakuja? Pale mimi nitatoa jawabu.
Meanwhile, the Mount Kenya Foundation has officially endorsed the former premier as their preferred presidential candidate for the 2022 general elections. They have pledged to give full support to the ODM leader even as he climbs the mountain in search of votes. Reporting for Switch TV, I'm Daniel Anda.
Meanwhile, One Kenya Alliance Oka leaders have today toured Taita Taveta County to drum for support ahead of the 2022 general elections. The principals have reiterated that it is their time to lead the country, saying that they have supported the former premier for many years. Our political reporter Florel Muki with more details.
One Kenya principals, that is Kalonzo Musyoka of Wiper, Musalia Mudavadi of ANC, Kanus Gideon Moi, and Moses Wetangula of Ford Kenya, have pitched camp in Voi and Udanyi constituencies in Taita Taveta County, which is perceived to be ODM leader Raila Odinga's strongholds.
Kwa hivyo matatizo ya hapa sisi tutatatua because we do not have a special interest.
Hata warembo wetu wenye mnafanya ile kazi ya jioni kila mtu atapata kadi ya NHIF.
Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka, who seems to be in endless political row with Deputy President William Ruto, has hit out at him and his allies for attacking Chief Justice Martha Koome, saying that they are the biggest corruption cartels.
Anakupatia wibolo hapa na anakunyang'anya ardhi ekari 1,000.
Iko wale ambao wanapora mali ya umma.
At the same time, Musalia says that free education and resuscitating the economy is the main focus ahead of the 2022 polls as it drums up support for the alliance.
Serikali ya Oka itahakikisha kwamba tutakuwa na elimu ya juu free.
Their one-day campaign trails in the Coast region come at the backdrop of the much-anticipated ODM leader Raila Odinga's National Delegates Convention on Friday, which has left many Kenyans wondering whether the principals will attend. Flora Limuki, Switch TV.
And now we take this story from Mwingi in Kitui County, where Transport and Infrastructure Principal Secretary Paul Maringa has announced that the government has set aside 30 million for ENZIU bridge construction and tender advertised, with the construction to kick-start in January next year. Mariam Jahid has more.
Emotions are high in Mwingi Level 5 Hospital. Families and friends waiting the government pathologists to do their investigations. As of yesterday, they were disturbed with slow events in the identification of dead bodies. The process of dead bodies identification in Mwingi Level 5 Hospital has kicked off as families await to be given their kin for burial. According to the county pathologist, the result will be into 2 to 3 days as the fingerprints detail has been sent to Nairobi for more comprehensive investigations. Meanwhile, government spokesman Cyrus Oguna has urged motorists to be careful while driving and crossing flooded bridges, especially during these festive seasons. Kitui County residents are hopeful their transport will be eased if the bridge will be constructed in January as planned, but the government decrying that the government has been doing too much talks than actions as the bridge has been swallowing lives since 2018.
Unfortunately, I have lost like 15 family members because of negligence and poor performance of our politicians, our leaders. This bridge ilianza kujengwa 2013, not even 2013, 2011. Up to date, the foundation stones ziko pekee. And our leader, Charity Kaluki Ngilo, flies in na helicopter while my mother sleeps there and my aunt sleeps there. Dead. Jo alikula pesa yake, na the first question she asked ni eti watu wanapitianga hapa. I am very mad and I am very sorry to say this, but tutawafagia wote. Our politicians, I am very mad.
Is that now the death toll of ENZIU River tragedy stands at 32 people, mainly members of a church choir and villagers headed to a wedding when a school bus they had hired was swept away by raging floods on the bridge. At least 12 passengers managed to scramble to safety, but most aboard the stricken bus were unable to escape before it was swallowed by the muddy tide. ENZIU Bridge was constructed in 2013 to 2014, funded from CDF Kitty. Reporting for Switch, I am Mariam Mjahid.
Well, that story by Mariam Jahid brings us to 10 minutes past 7 p.m. We now take a short commercial break. We'll be back with more. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Breaking Today. My name is Joel Church and our sign language interpreter is Teresia Washira. Moving on, Deputy President William Ruto has told off hecklers who booed him and forced him to cut off his speech at a rally in Laikipia while selling his bottom-up economic model. Ruto called on citizens to vote for United Democratic Alliance aspirants come 2022. Lemayan Letina filed the report.
In his bid to sell the bottom-up economic model, the Deputy President William Ruto has today set his camp in Sepili and Kinamba, Laikipia West, Laikipia County. The DP, who at some point lost it after his speech was cut short following yells from the youth, did not waste a chance telling off his hecklers.
Kuna tofauti mkubwa leo katika taifa letu la Kenya kati ya sisi na wale tunashindana na wao. Wale tunashindana na wao wanaamini ati wagawanye wa Kenya kwa chama ya kabila na chama ya kijiji kwanza, ati alafu baadaye wataenda kufaidika kama viongozi peke yao.
It was then a chance to front former Mungiki sect leader Maina Njenga as the UDS senator candidate for Laikipia County, arguing that he understands the bottom-up approach.
Hapa ni kwa William Samoei Ruto. Hebu nionyesheni na mkono. Na sasa ndio tuweze kuleta amani. Joshua Irogo wakati wa 2022 naye ndiye gavana.
Among its leaders who accompanied DP Ruto is former Kiambu County Governor Ferdinand Waititu aka Babayao, who called on youths to support the DP come 2022.
Kila mtu anakaribishwa kwa chama la UDA. Tunaona na sisi pale Kiambu. Sisi wote ni watu wa UDA.
Ruto is said to be in Kisii County tomorrow to push for his bottom-up economic model with less than 10 months remaining to the 2022 general elections. Letina Lemayan, Switch TV, Nairobi.
On to other news, it's now 4 days to Jamhuri Day with the preparations to mark the day ongoing at Uhuru Gardens Park in Nairobi. The event will only be marked in Nairobi County. According to PS Karanja Kibicho, the facility is only awaiting decorations. Jepto Boit, who was at the site, now reports.
According to Interior Principal Secretary Karanja Kibicho, the facility here, which is Uhuru Gardens Park, is complete, only awaiting decorations for the big day, which is December 12th this year, which Kenya will be marking a Jamhuri Day. 11,000 guests will only be allowed to sit inside the facility, with only 1,000 will be allowed to sit in the dais. The event will be marked in accordance, the event will be marked in accordance to the Ministry of Health guidelines, which is observing the COVID-19 protocols. And entertainers will be here as at Friday and Saturday as they prepare to entertain people who will be allowed to get in here on that day. Parallel celebrations will not take place in any other county except Nairobi County, and this is to adhere to the Ministry of Health guidelines, which is observing the COVID-19 protocols, which are aimed at curbing the spread of COVID-19. The guests will be expected to be seated in the facility as from 8 a.m. in the morning, and the gates will be opened by 5 a.m. Vaccination will also take place just opposite Uhuru Gardens Park, that is at Uchumi, as from Friday, and will go all the way up to Monday. The airport right behind the facility will also be affected, since flights will not be allowed to cross this way on that day.
We are happy to report that the other Kenyans who are not able to come here among the 10 will be screening these celebrations live on TVs from 8 a.m. all the way to when it's finished. We'll expect our VIP to arrive by 10:30, and will take about 1.5 hours. So latest 1 p.m. will be finished.
Jamhuri Day is a day to celebrate Kenya gaining independence as well as it becoming a republic. Kenya became a republic in 1964, barely a year after Kenya gaining independence in 1963. Jamhuri is a Swahili word which means a republic. Reporting from Uhuru Gardens Park, my name is Chepto Boys.
Thank you, Chepto Boit, and of course our team will be on the ground to just bring you updates from that particular, from that particular location. We now cross borders. At least 63 prisoners have died, with 69 others nursing serious injuries after an overcrowded prison in Gitega, Burundi was ripped by fire at around 4 a.m. Images circulating online show a building engulfed in flames, and the vice president of Bozombaza, who released the figures after visiting the scene of the incidents, did not say what might have caused the fire. Well, time now for business news. Digital money lenders, that including Tala, Branch, Zenka, and the rest, are set to be regulated by the Central Bank of Kenya after President Uhuru Kenyatta signed to law the Central Bank of Kenya Amendment Bill number 10. This comes after several cries by Kenyans about debt shaming and uncouth ways of debt recovery, as these lenders were not being regulated before. This is among other 4 bills the president signed into law today. On to other news, Toyota Kenya customers can now purchase any Suzuki or Toyota models from Toyota Kenya, enjoying a 90% financing from EcoBank with a 7-year repayment plan. They will also receive a 4-year first-class service plan or 60,000 kilometer mileage equivalent, that is whichever comes first. This is after Toyota and EcoBank partnered to offer auto loans to their customers to purchase brand new cars.
Keen on acquiring vehicles that are fuel efficient and affordable, and all our vehicles are definitely very much affordable. The Suzuki at Toyota Kenya, we offer various brands which include from the Ertiga, the Vitara, the Ciaz, the Super Carry, which obviously come with the latest technology as well as interior and external features that suit different customer and personalities of them.
ENZIU, Zamara Group has launched Africa's first pension and savings plan on WhatsApp. In this WhatsApp's plan, one can open an account, access and transact via WhatsApp, while also save for their pension plan. Currently, Kenya has 12 million WhatsApp users, hence this model can work.
We can communicate, we can personalize the conversations. We can, talk about financial literacy, financial planning, well-being. How much do you need to save? How much should you be putting aside? What is the benefit of an insurance cover? We can provide bite-sized communication.
Samsung Electronics has said that it will merge its mobile and consumer electronics divisions and named new co-CEOs in its biggest reshuffle since 2017 to simplify its structure and focus on growing its logic chip business. The costs saved from merging will be reinvested in the production of the chip, whose shortage has hindered the global production of electronics ranging from smartwatches, PlayStations, phones, among others. Apollo James narrates.
Samsung has announced its biggest shakeup since 2017. The South Korean conglomerate unveiled plans today to merge its mobile and consumer electronic divisions. It also named new co-CEOs, with Zhang He promoter vice chairman and co-CEO of the newly merged division. The sweeping moves are the latest sign of centralized change at Samsung. After Vice Chairman Jay Wiley was paroled in August from a bribery conviction, Samsung is looking to simplify its structure and grow its logic chip business as it sets its sights on overtaking TSMC to become the #1 chip contract manufacturer by 2030. Late last month, Samsung chose Taylor in Texas as the site of the planned $17 billion US chip plant after months of deliberation. The decision coincided with Lee's first business trip to the United States in 5 years. Samsung plans to spend $206 billion over the next 3 years on areas such as semiconductors, artificial intelligence, robotics, and biopharmaceuticals. Apollo James, Switch Television.
Time to now get sporty. Valencia Marathon champion Lawrence Cherono received a warm welcome at the Eldoret International Airport in Uasin Gishu County after she jetted back into the country today morning. The Kaptagat-based athlete bagged victory in a time of 2 hours, 5 minutes and 12 seconds ahead of Ethiopia's Chalu Deso, who was second. Kenya's Philemon Kacheran finished third.
So that's a good bit of bike running, so a bike leading, you don't get much quality in that, but talking about a great bit of speed in his legs. The champion for 2021 in the Valencia Marathon Trinidad Alfonso EDP is going to be Lawrence Cherono. He's going to be just outside 2 hours and 5 minutes. But I tell you what, he will not mind us.
Elsewhere, Kenya Sevens Shujaa have registered poor results from the 2 legs of the Dubai Sevens played across the last 2 weeks in the United Arab Emirates. They're now sitting 8th in the World Sevens Series standings after Shujaa collected 10 points during the first leg, where they finished 8th after losing to Ireland in the 7 and 8 classification match playoffs.
This is a great tackle from Oriambo. Celebrate that, stop those gasmen getting the ball, and then just the constant challenge that you're going to get.